A very warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us here for Decoding Tech Transitions, Discover the Roles Available webinar. My name is Karen. It's a pleasure here to be your host for today. Now, Skills Future Festival, the professional series, together with NTUC LearningHub, brings forth an exciting myriad of opportunities for you to discover how you can enhance your skill set that contributes to your employment and employability. So it doesn't matter if you are looking for a job or upgrading your skills to give yourself that competitive edge. Skills Future Festival is the perfect opportunity for you to get a head start on your lifelong learning journey. Now, today's topic is on decoding tech transitions, discover the roles available. Now, the industry is actually experiencing an exponential demand for skilled tech professionals. And if you are contemplating a tech industry career switch, but quite uncertain about the roles available, we will be shedding some light on the tech career paths for your consideration, for you to gain clarity on your potential tech career trajectory. Now, I also like to encourage you to stay till the end because we do have a post-webinar survey and we have our friendly consultants on board to answer any queries that you might have pertaining to the courses. So as you're enjoying the presentation later on, feel free to use the Q&A function at any one time so that we will be able to answer your queries to the best of our capabilities. And today we have with us Chu Qian, Wilson, and Gary, who will be telling us more. So without further ado, I'd like to pass the time over to Chu Qian, please.
Thank you, Karine. Right. So for today's webinar, Decoding Tech Transitions, Discover the Roles Available, let me share what the agenda is and what we'll be going through today. So first off, we understand that the industry is experiencing an exponential demand for skilled tech professionals. And if you are contemplating a tech industry career switch, but uncertain about the available roles, we will give you an overview of, what the tech industry currently looks like, what is the job demand, and what are the different pillars and career pathways that you can look into. And then later on, you can hear from each of our product managers who will be diving into some of our tech career transition programs. So specifically, today we will cover 3 programs: the e-commerce specialist, desktop support engineer, as well as the cloud administrator program, to give you a feel of what is involved in tech boot camps, as well as the support we provide. And then lastly, we will end up with a Q&A session. But meanwhile, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A box and we'll actually answer them as we proceed with the webinar. So starting off, before we jump into what are key factors for a successful career transition into tech, I think in the first place, let's begin by addressing why in the first place we are considering a switch to the tech industry. And I think all of us are here because we know that there is a huge demand for tech talent in Singapore. The tech industry is experiencing rapid growth, and there are many opportunities for career advancement in these areas. So the recent MOM job vacancy report shows that nearly 7 in 10 of all vacancies in information and communications were new positions, which is the highest level across all sectors for the 3rd year running. Looking at the top 10 PMET job vacancies in 2022 in the diagram on your left from a news report in March 2023, 3 of the roles that you see there: software, web and multimedia developer, software and applications manager, and systems analyst, all belong in the ICT in the tech area. And you can also take a look at, what is the average salary range that they are looking at. And for the tech industry and as well as for tech roles, with its dynamic and innovative nature, I think what a lot of us are looking forward to is also quite a stimulating work environment that encourages continuous learning and growth. But at the same time, we must also be aware of, the news of layoffs in tech giants. I think we've all heard about this as well. So Google's parent company, Alphabet and Spotify, have recently announced layoffs, while Meta and Twitter staff in Singapore have also faced some terminations. But in spite of this, we understand that tech talent continues to be in demand in industry. And this is because the tech industry has become a driving force in various sectors, where industries beyond just tech are also experiencing a shortage of skilled tech workers. So in a recent news report at the start of the year, I think the Minister Josephine Teo has mentioned that Singapore will continue investing in local tech talent despite layoffs. And this is because besides the tech industry, other sectors like banking, logistics, and even accommodation are ramping up their hiring of tech talent as the tech sector, they are going through some terminations. And tech workers with highly specialized skills continue to be in demand, such as in software development, cloud management, cybersecurity, and data science. And adding on to that, traditionally, tech jobs used to be in big tech giants and startup scenes. But I think today, with the dynamic and innovative nature, we know that that is no longer the case. So sectors such as banking, consulting, and advertising actually have a huge demand for skilled tech workers, as well as industries such as manufacturing, healthcare, food and beverage, and HR. And what that means for someone who is, looking to take up tech roles, is really more potential for career growth and advancement and more industries that we can enter into. So as increasingly, job skills are preferred over years of experience, and firms prioritize skills over academic qualifications, this new trend towards skills-based hiring also provides a pathway for non-degree professionals who have earned their skills through non-traditional means, such as short courses, boot camps, practical experience, and more. So if you looked at the recent LinkedIn's Future of Recruiting 2023 report, job recruiters in Southeast Asia are 50% more likely to search by skills than by years of experience. And, top leaders from Google and LinkedIn have also mentioned that their firms are increasingly prioritizing skills over academic qualifications, which means that to successfully do a career transition is not necessary for academic qualifications. There are additional strategies for success in transitioning to tech roles, such as boot camps, practical experience, certifications, portfolio, and more to showcase your skills to employers. So when we talk about tech, it's also quite a huge sector and quite a huge market. So it's good to drill down and understand what exactly we are talking about. So according to the Digital Economy report published by SkillsFuture Singapore in 2022, what they have mentioned is that the increasing adoption of new technologies has transformed jobs across sectors, offering opportunities to better our skills and pivot to new careers. So specifically, this report actually highlighted 6 emerging domains with strong demand. And what it means for us, when we talk about pillars with strong demands, if we are considering a transition to tech, then these are the domains and pillars to prioritize. So namely, they are AI, data, and analytics, where employers are actually looking out for data-related skills such as business data analysis, data visualization, and more in-depth would be AI application and data engineering. Software engineering is also, software development is also highly in demand, right? Skills such as software application, interface development, and customer experience are highly in demand by employers. Then we also have technology application and management, where we talk about skills such as Internet of Things application, radio frequency engineering, and more. For cybersecurity and risk, skills related to data and IT management and protection, security and threat management, incident and recovery management, data protection management, and security governance are examples of skills that are required in these domains. And in the area of e-commerce and digital marketing, skills related to market research, consumer behavior insights, product sales and market management, digital marketing communications, and e-commerce management and customer behavior analysis are crucial to thrive in that economy. For cloud systems and infrastructure, we are talking about skills related to the deployment, administration, and improvement of cloud infrastructure, database, and 5G networks, such as systems integration and business continuity skills. So my colleagues later will, of course, explain a little bit more in depth when they talk about their programs. So now that we have figured out, what are the key domains and what are the key skills that are required, I think something to understand is that beyond technical skills, there are other things, other requirements that the employers have as well, right? So acquiring new technical skills and knowledge is definitely necessary to meet the industry demands, but a combination of technical and soft skills is essential, right? So technical skills, we are talking about, proficiency in programming languages, data analysis tools like maybe Excel, Power BI, IT support, business analysis, auditing, and project management. But equally important are skills such as communication, problem solving, teamwork, and critical thinking. So these are very highly valued by employers looking to hire skilled tech professionals, because tech roles are typically collaborative and also involve a lot of problem solving. And in addition to that, right, another challenge is that, when you take on tech roles, due to the fast-paced and ever-changing nature of the tech industry, continuous learning and upskilling is definitely crucial for you to stay abreast of, what is evolving in the tech landscape, what is new, what are the new threats, what are the new skills that you need to learn. So another key trait that you should build would be continuous learning and adaptability for long-term success in your role. So, in addition to the combination of technical skills and soft skills, a key factor that can help you to stand out from other candidates and improve your employability in the tech space would actually be IT certifications. So these IT certifications are industry recognized, right? They are recognized by employers, and they are obtained through a series of training and exams. So what they do then is that they can actually validate your skills and knowledge in the specific technologies and roles. They enhance your marketability and make you stand out to potential employers. And, compared to a candidate that has IT certification and one that doesn't have, then of course this will showcase your commitment to professional development as well. So if you look at the report, 66% of IT managers have actually said that employees with IT certifications outperform non-certified peers in quantifiable gains and are more productive. And certified team members actually provide added value above and beyond the cost of certification. So this is actually a report done by Global Knowledge. So as we understand that, the tech industry offers a wide range of job opportunities in various different industries, and the combination of skills that are required, then the next question is possibly, where do we start? Or where do we start to equip ourselves with these skills and knowledge to start that progress towards the career transition? So up next, I will be sharing an overview of some career transition programs that we actually offer. They are designed for mid-career transitioners and aim to provide flexible learning options, imbued with practical training, and delivered in partnership with the industry partners to equip you with industry-relevant skills and knowledge to make that successful switch. So some of the key, supported by Skills Future Singapore, our Skills Career Transition Program, aka SCTP, is a train-and-place program to support mid-career individuals in acquiring industry-relevant skills. So trainees will attend our training courses in addition to our career advisory services and employment facilitation support. So what are some of the key program features that we boast in our SCTP? So number one is an industry-relevant program, right? So our program is designed in collaboration with leading knowledge partners and subject matter experts that you see the logos there, right? So depending on the track, it could be Microsoft, Scrum Alliance, Scale Agile, CompTIA, AWS, ISACA, Deloitte, Project Management Institute, DevOps Institute, and more, to make sure that whatever you're learning is applicable and relevant to the workplace to ensure your smooth transition. The second feature would be capstone projects and on-the-job training. So in addition to structured training, we also provide several opportunities for you to apply what you have learned in training on a real-world problem through capstone projects, right? Whether it could be group work or independent work. And lastly would be employment facilitation services, where our team, our career facilitation team, will actually provide employment support, which I will share more subsequently. So this is just an overview of the program structure that you will go through, whether it's full-time, 1 to 3 months, or part-time 3 to 9 months, where you will undergo a series of modules to build up your soft skills as well as your technical skills, and then ending in the capstone project. And our training is all live training, meaning it's not e-learning, it's live training, but it could be held either virtually or face-to-face at our Bras Basah classrooms. And of course, in designing these programs, we exactly also studied what are the in-demand and emerging skills reported in the market to make sure that, whatever you learned is immediately applicable to the workplace and also in demand by employers. So coming on to the employment facilitation slide. So throughout the program, our career facilitation team will actually be coming in to support in a few areas, right? So one is the Career Resilience Executive Workshop by E2I. We have job matching initiatives and regular career fairs and webinars. We have personalized virtual advice on resume writing, interview strategies and techniques, as well as a digital career coach via the Career Agility Hub that we will provide you with. And also, we have a strong track record in delivering placement-based programs. So all these are employer logos that you see here. We have actually successfully placed our SGUS and SCTP trainees in these companies. But a point to note is that there is no placement guarantee in this program, and it's of course also dependent on your participation and your support. So just sharing again more of some of our success. So beyond those employers that we have successfully placed our trainees in, this is an overview of our placement track records, right? So for the Java developer, for the associate project manager, digital business operations specialist, full stack developer, and associate data analyst, we actually boast a placement rate of 84 to 95%, where we actually post-training ensure that our trainees are successfully placed in relevant job roles. So this is another trainee success story that we would like to share as well from one of our trainees. So Ms. Harani Asnor, after 15 years in the graphic design field, when she was given the choice of either taking a pay cut or leaving her job during the pandemic, she actually decided to leave her job and work as a freelancer. But I think during that time, she struggled to land a job and decided to utilize that time to take up one of our programs, which is the SGUS Associate UI UX Designer program. So it was a 9-month-long intense program, and through the course, she actually learned a lot of skills, learned a lot of new knowledge, and was able to secure a role in a tech agency as a UI UX designer. So this is my last slide before I hand over to my colleague Wilson to share more about the e-commerce specialist program. So if you are interested in such programs, this is something to note. This program is actually funded up to 95% by SkillsFuture Singapore, on top of you being able to use your post-secondary education account, your SkillsFuture credit, as well as your UTAP. So this is to offset any remaining course fees. So the main criteria is for yourself to be a Singapore citizen and PR job seeker, age 21 and above. So if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the Q&A box. Without further ado, let me hand over to Wilson to share more about the e-commerce specialist program.
Thank you, Chu Chen. Good afternoon, everyone. Please allow me to share my slides. So, are you able to see my slide? Chu Chen?
Yes.
I can see it clear. Okay, good. So, over here, my name is Wilson. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm the product manager for this SCTP e-commerce specialist program. So our next program that we're going to start on, which is going to be happening on 30th September, and the end date for the part-time program is going to end on the 19th of March 2024. So what we mean by part-time is basically the class will be held on evening time or over weekends. One of the reasons is because there's a huge demand that a lot of our trainees prefer to do the night classes because they are working on the full day work, or they prefer to do part-time work and attend night classes. So for the e-commerce specialist program, basically like to share with you that there is a need. How come there's a need to share with you about this program is that why takes this course? Okay, so basically we understand that there's importance of shopping online, and because of the COVID that people are turning into online shopping instead of going to the mall, right? Even though now that we are opened and people start to go back to shopping, go back to work, but people tend to go online shopping because they tend to browse. They are able to buy a competitive product at a much cheaper rate. So this causes the business to be very competitive. And in order to be competitive, the company needs to optimize the online sales. And how do they actually increase the revenue and improve customer experience? So then that comes the important role as an e-commerce specialist. So this what does this e-commerce specialist do, and how actually it affects life, and what are their salaries. So these are the concerns that people have, that basically I can share with you how this will work. Okay, so complexity of e-commerce has started way before, and it has actually evolved into much more complex because of many platforms, many social media, and even digital marketing evolving, and even live stream is going into e-commerce. So the job scope itself has many different areas, and as a e-commerce specialist, you could be doing a website design, photo taking of your product, copywriting of your product. So itself, you need to have a rapidly grow technology where how do you actually reach your customer? How do you actually help to retain customer and increase the revenue? So there's this shortage of this skilled professional, right? So looking at this, looking at this shortage itself, what do e-commerce specialists do? Basically, there's a wide range, as I've mentioned earlier. It varies, depends on the company size, industry, and the goal, right? So I have seen companies who have done successfully, they only have a two-man show, but companies who are so big that they could have 100 to 200 people managing the website. So it actually varies. And the important thing is that an e-commerce specialist, this program will help you to equip as much as possible in terms of the marketing aspect, in terms of how do you actually set up the website, how the whole logistics system work, and how you're looking into the payment gateway, and even how you can actually retain customer or increase your traffic flow. So here are some of the ways that e-commerce especially can impact the business. If you are shortage of e-commerce specialists in any company that is dealing with retail, you're actually losing your customer. So how to increase online sales is important, because that's where e-commerce specialists come in. After you're being trained, there's a few different job roles, different aspects of the company itself. Uh, they look for the job role that they requested. Some could be doing the marketing side of it, helping to push the product. There are some who support, who talk about doing the delivery. So that actually helps to increase the sales. So other aspect of it would be enhancing the customer experience, whether they enjoy shopping online, whether they do get more details about the product they're selling, and eventually at the end of it, when they receive the product, are they happy with it? So this is key important as a job role that key e-commerce specialist does. So staying ahead of competition, in fact, with specialists for e-commerce itself, you will help to stay ahead of competition. You know the latest trend. These are the courses that we will dwell in, because we're going to talk about Shopee, we're going to talk about Lazada, even Amazon, and how Alibaba actually transformed the whole economy in terms of online shopping. So the role itself also will teach you about how to increase your market share, how e-commerce is actually using effective strategy, bring the online business, grow the business, and improve the outcome, right? So at the end of the day, the role of an e-commerce specialist is crucial to enable a business to compete, right, in a highly competitive landscape. So the landscape is not just about Singapore. In fact, it's all global right now, right? And the best thing about this is, as a specialist, some companies allow you to work remotely, and some companies, in fact, they do hybrid as well. So you may be wondering, if I reskill and upskill and I would like to go into this industry, what are the salary range. So on average, the graduate would probably be looking at 2,008 a month. And eventually, if you're looking at a mid-career, you can range from 3,000 plus to 7,000 a month. Depends on your role, depends on the company size. And lastly, if you're looking into a more senior level, then you probably be looking at $6,000 to $10,000 a month in terms of your salary range. And of course, it depends on your company itself, right? And of course, your experience. So there is a high demand for e-commerce in terms of a job role. If you look into LinkedIn itself, there are in fact about there are in fact about 1,000 over search that they are looking from an executive role to a manager or even a senior manager role. And if you look at job street alone, there's about 3,000 over vacancy that people look for in the aspect for e-commerce job role, right? So after completing the course itself, there's a few roles that trainee can apply because e-commerce itself is very wide. You could have experience in terms of marketing skills, and then you probably take on this e-commerce role, then actually enhance, then you'll probably be more suitable to join an e-commerce platform company. But there are companies who does basically have their own products. So you could be working there as a digital marketing role, then your extension as an e-commerce will probably help to the company to look into multiple platforms that you can actually promote your product or even draw traffic to your e-commerce marketplace. So as an e-commerce specialist itself, there are various of job roles that require your e-commerce skill sets. So in fact, if you look at the current industry, current situation right now, any company that sells a product, in fact, has an e-commerce store. Even if they do not have an e-commerce store, they would be selling the product in Facebook, Instagram, social media, or even any digital platforms, e-commerce platform out there. So the demand for e-commerce skill sets, the demand for e-commerce specialists is high, right? So this is the career pathway as an e-commerce specialist. It depends on your experience and where you're starting on. So basically, if you are new and just graduated, probably you'll be looking at executive or the specialist level, and then you probably go into the senior and the assistant manager. Eventually, as you grow and with more experience, then you can explore into the VP level. So these are the different aspect of job role. Also depends on the company itself and how the company come from which industry. You could be coming from the medical industry, medical equipment that you're selling online, or you're looking at the F&B or product-based lifestyle product. So it is actually a wide range of job scope out there for e-commerce specialists. Right. So what are the prerequisite program requirements? Basically, it's simple. If you are a Singapore citizen, permanent resident, or even a long-term visit pass holder, then you are able to join this program. You have to be 21 years old and above. And at the end of the day, you are to commit to complete the program. Okay, so we are looking basically with a minimum 9 cracks, able to speak and listen, understand, and write English. Because this is important because there will be modules that teach you and guide you in terms of marketing. Because in order to sell your product, you need to draw traffic. So in order to get traffic, you need to know what is marketing, what is digital marketing. So the module, the course program itself will dwell into this from a product in terms of what you have to market and how to market and even how to at the end of the day look into the delivery. So there will be hands-on in the module as well. So these are things that we are looking at more of industrial aspect rather than just theory, right? So basically the English level you need to have a proficiency level of level 6. So with WSQ, right? Basic knowledge, and most of all, you need to be keen in terms of design, or you know about website, and if you love uh, online shopping or even photography, that will actually help you in terms of this joining this role, because it's important. You must have passion when you come into this program. Okay, the generic competency will probably be able to multitask, because you'll probably be working in teams. You will look into products, what are products you want to sell, how you're going to sell the product, pitch the product, uh, look into writing the content, and make sure how you actually address content into the marketplace. So all this is important because at the end of the day, you will be giving a 15 minutes presentation about your product at the and so that you are able to understand what you're selling, able to see how and what you have learned. So that actually help you with your communication in terms of pitching, because when it comes into this industry, uh, your idea, your marketing skills, and even your e-commerce skills is important to pitch to your client, even if you are or you're not holding any product. But there are some companies platform that you work with, for example, as a business development person, you could be engaging with a product company, F&B company, come into your online uh, websites to sell your product. So this is key important that you need to learn to be multitask, work in team, and of course able to be display reliability in terms of making your product work, making sure that what you do is being able to deliver. So the program itself, if you look at the course title, is called SCTP e-commerce specialist. The program fee is $19,030, right? And the module itself, if you look at the module titles, we have the Alibaba program. Alibaba program is all about Alibaba digital transformation and how e-commerce cross-border actually help to transform China marketplace, and how they actually go global. It's not about uh, setting up Alibaba platform. No, it's all about how it actually transformed the mindset. It transformed the way how we actually sell online. So this is key important. Then thereafter, we are looking at jumpstart your online business. It's all about Shopee and Lazada setting up hands-on how you actually go about looking into doing your promotions, attract traffic. It's the same for Amazon. And lastly, of course, we look into the design aspect of the program in terms of how you actually manage a website, how you set up a website. Same thing, we do have hands-on as well. And of course, the marketing essential, where what you need to do for your marketing aspect in terms of if you have an e-commerce website, if you're working for someone, how do you actually go and draw traffic? How you start to create your marketing collateral, how to do your marketing plan. So these are key important to run a successful e-commerce website. So along the process, there'll be capstone project. So what is capstone project? Basically, is to make sure that at the end of the day, it allows students to acquire knowledge and skills in the real problem. The reason why we put real world problem is because the trainers that are teaching are professionals. They've been in the industry for more than 10 years. And they themselves do have their own e-commerce aspect, successful in terms of guiding trainees into this world, in terms of helping them reskill, upskill, and change your mindset into making the e-commerce programs that they have done, even the projects that they've done successfully. So the project are typically completed and then presented at the final session for evaluation. So upon completion, you will get certificate sample. Over here, Alibaba certification as well as the NTUC certification. So these are the two certifications that you will receive upon completion of the whole program. So for the marketing modules, these are the modules that I have explained earlier. So this is a summary of it. where at the end of the day, you will learn how to set up your e-commerce store, Lazada, as well as Amazon. Same thing, design your website using WordPress and WooCommerce. And this is important because once you have your own website or once you're working for your company, you are able to maintain and how to even change products, take photo, update your e-commerce websites. So the digital marketing aspect is to promote your product in terms of Asia or even global. How do you go about doing that? And manage your finance and track your result of your e-commerce business, right? So identify target potential customers. So at the program itself, the trainer will teach you how to target who are your customers because it depends on what you're selling. If you're selling a medical product, so you probably looking at whether it's going to be consumer or it's going to be a B2B program, B2B partner as well. So analyze your consumer behavior. What do they like? What do they often do, and how often do they come to your website, and what are their needs? So that is key important because then you're able to sell to what your customer wants. And of course, maximize your sales through various digital channel in Asia. Right. For the Alibaba program itself, same thing in this summary, we are looking into the global, sorry, it's a global talent program, not the dreamer, global talent program. So it's basically it's an immersive journey to start with the student about the e-commerce of Alibaba and how Alibaba transformed the whole e-commerce in terms of in China. So we are looking at the whole aspect and how this actually can transform and help learners to go not just locally, but how they can actually think globally as well. So the immersing program itself is a blend of theory as well as practical application. Same thing where we will do capstone and help learners how to go into this dynamic digital landscape. So the key important of this Alibaba program is not just about transforming mindset, but also hands-on and guide you with the right mentor, helping you to complete this program, and so that you can have a successful career or even your own business. Right. So this is the module itself, the individual modules, jumpstart program, which is 5 days. But due to time, I'll quicken this because you can find this in our website, the course review and the objective about this whole program, and then we have all the sub-modules. So the jumpstart itself, the program itself is 5 days, and the Go International program is also 5 days. So the course itself provide you the understanding of global selling in Amazon, and our trainer is very experienced. In fact, a lot of the trainees who have completed the program, not only they actually found job, but some of them even started their own e-commerce company. Right, then of course the marketing aspect and why is it important in terms of marketing with e-commerce, because without marketing you cannot run your e-commerce business because there will be not traffic, there will not be consumer coming to your website. So marketing itself is very wide, but we try to summarize everything so that it can help you to grow your business in the e-commerce space. And of course, the duration, this is the WordPress, maintaining your websites, which same thing is 3 days. 2 days for the ICDL. So ICDL is an overview of what e-commerce is in terms through this digital marketing and how digital marketing can actually help you transform your business, right? And duration for this Alibaba program is 18 days, right? And then of course the program fee and the breakdown we have over here, and it can be also found on the website itself. And this e-commerce business itself, for Singapore residents, you are looking at 70% funding if you are 21 years and above. If you are 40 years old, you have about 90% funding. And lastly, additional funding support for citizens, 95%. So this is especially arrange program for a certain group of trainees. For example, if you have not been working for some period of time, then you'll probably be looking at 95% funding. So you can actually speak to our sales consultant as well with regards to the funding. So if you have any question, you can scan the QR code or even WhatsApp us. Right. So the time itself, Monday to Friday, 8 to 5:30, and we are closed on Eve and public holiday. And feel free to WhatsApp. Feel free to check out on our website. Right. So if you have any question, you can actually put your question on the chat here. Thank you for your time, and I'll hand over to Gary for the next product. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Wilson. Hi, everyone. This is Gary. I'm the product manager for all the cloud programs in LearningHub. So let me share with you the two exciting tracks that I have. Okay, today I'll be sharing two tracks. One is on the desktop support engineer. The other one will be the cloud administrator. They are both SCTP programs. So without further ado, I proceed. Okay, so for desktop support engineer is actually one of the most entry roles in the ICT department. So modern businesses rely very heavily on computers and technologies, right? You can see that most of us working in the corporate and enterprise settings, and also in the SME settings, we are all using laptops and peripherals like printers, scanners, and so forth. So the demand for the desktops, a skilled desktop support engineer will always be there, because when there are users using all these peripherals with all the networking, laptop and all these things, right? You will still need people to service them. So many organizations require professionals who can actually handle the hardware and the software issues, configure the systems, perform upgrades for the systems, and also provides user support for the end user. For example, a newcomer has joined the company, so he requested you to help him set up the machines, and as in you give him his username, passwords, and help him to log in his network, connect his peripherals that he need to use every day. Yeah. So desktop support engineers, right, is a professionals who provide technical supports and assistance to the end users in an organization. Their primary responsibility is to ensure that the desktop computers, laptop peripherals, software applications are all functioning properly and meeting the needs of the users. So in short, you are servicing the people who are using the tools. Okay. Next slide. So if you can see, right, these are the roles and responsibility of desktop support engineers. It always revolves a few keywords such as installation, configurations, maintenance, troubleshooting, and of course, providing technical support. So the main responsibility of a desktop support engineers includes: one, installation and configurations and maintenance of desktop, laptop, and other devices such as your iPad, iPhone, Android phone, Android pad, what have you. Okay, basically any devices. Okay, troubleshooting and resolving hardware and software issues, okay, related to all these peripherals that I mentioned earlier. Configuring and troubleshooting network connectivity issues. This is your responsibility, your Wi-Fi, the local area network, and all these things. Providing technical supports to end users in person, over the phone, or face-to-face. Okay, or even using remote tools, because you might be in Singapore, you might be supporting users in Malaysia, depending on the company configuration. Identifying and escalating complex issues to higher level support teams, because for you, you just settle the end user part. If it's beyond the end user part that you have diagnosed the problem and you think that is beyond the end user part, you have to scale up. You have to put up the ticket and let the next level of support take over. Okay. performing routine maintenance, which is such as system updates, backups, and virus scans, maintaining accurate records of our technical support, because whatever things that you have done to the particular PC machines, usually you need to take it down so that as a record to know that hey, this machine has this problem, and you have to keep a database of it. Okay, providing training if there's something and guidance to the new end users, that is using your peripherals, and collaborating with other ICT teams member to do small projects and things like that. So in short, this is a very desktop related job where you have to support all the end users, be it software, hardware, network, and so forth. Okay. So if you look at the demand for desktop support engineer, if you look through all the websites like JobsDB, JobStreet, Foundit, LinkedIn, they are all looking for desktop support engineers. Sometimes desktop support engineers could be known as IT support and executive as well. So there's many names, and the names denotes that the users, the engineers himself have to perform different tasks. So it depends on what kind of tasks you are required to perform. If it's a desktop support role, this course is enough for you to support. Okay, so according to the data from the pay scale, right, the average salary for a desktop support engineer in Singapore is around 40,000 to 66,000 per annum. Okay, which an average between 51,000 per year. That's, we are talking about 3,000, estimate about $3,000 Sing dollars monthly salary. That's the estimate. That's for a beginner. Okay, it could be lesser, it could be higher. It depends on the experience as well and what kind of company you have you are working in. Okay, so for career advancement for desktop support engineer, as I mentioned earlier, desktop support engineer is the entry role for all the ICT job roles. Okay, depending on the number of years you serve in each of the roles and how fast you progress, you can escalate yourself to become of course, the senior desktop support engineer. If you have done 1 or 2 years, you'll get the senior title. There will be some pay adjustment and so forth. But you look at the long term, right? You could be a IT support managers, it could be a IT project managers, it could be a system engineer, network engineer, even IT security analysis. It depends on how you upgrade yourself along the way. As I mentioned earlier, because of the technology keep changing and keep emerging, right? One of the things that ICT professional should do is to keep on upgrading yourself with new skills, equip yourself with new skills so that you can handle all the new features, all the new things that is coming on to the ICT world. So constant upgrading is always important. Okay. So don't take it that, oh, I finished this course, or I can do this job forever. You can't. You still need to keep on upgrading to upskill yourself to the next level. Okay, what we can provide you with this job role is a platform for you to grow to the next level. Okay. So this is a track, it's a very simple track for SCTP desktop support engineer. We will start off with CompTIA A+. It's an official CompTIA course. This course is covering everything about IT support, desktop support roles. And you follow on with a 5 days CompTIA Network Plus, which is a course that is specifically designed for network engineers. Okay, so whatever course that we provide you in this track, right, you will actually provide you more skills than what you need for a desktop support engineer. We over-equip you because in the event that you need to move, you have the experience to move. Okay, then you're followed by the IQ4 Foundation, which is IT service management. Is talking about the standards and the governance and the best practices in the ICT environment. Then we'll cover the Microsoft Windows client. And also we'll cover the iOS client because these two are the most commonly used OS operating system by all the corporates. iOS will be a slightly lesser. It depends on what kind of company you are working in. If you are working in a general company, most of them will be using Windows. Okay, For iOS, usually they will use for graphic design, coders, marketing, the kind that use a lot of graphics one. But there's such company around, like architecting firm, they use a lot of Mac also, because there's a lot of good tools that they can actually use for drawing. So to support the iOS, or rather the Mac OS itself, I think it's important. Then we have, you go through 2 days of promote customer centric innovation. Is a sub-skill course, and I will cover what each course cover a bit more later. Then we also cover the support workplace improvement and innovation. Lastly, we will have a 10 days capstone project for desktop support engineer. So what that capstone will cover will be all the courses that we have attended. For example, A+, Level Plus, Windows, and as well as the Mac OS. So it's going to be a project scenario whereby you need to, with what you have learned, the knowledge you have acquired, you need to perform a certain roles, you need to complete a certain project, you need to set up a certain machines. Okay, it's all hands-on, it's project-based. It could be an individual project, it could be a group-based project as well. Okay, more details will be shared with you upon you reach that stage. Okay. So I proceed. So this is the course fees for desktop support engineer. So the full course fee will be 15,600, which is before all the funding. If you are funding for the average Singaporean will be 4,680 after funding. With GST will be 5,054.40 with GST. And if you are 40 years old and above, you'll get 1,560, and your payable will be 1,934.4 with GST. Okay, all these details will be shared by our skill consultants, Ivan. He is here to help you. If you have any queries, please WhatsApp us. So this is the brief course outline of all the CompTIA courses. The 5-day CompTIA A+ course will cover all the bullet points, such as you learn how to support operating system, install and configure PC system units, components, and peripheral devices. You can see that the keywords keep popping up is install, configure, troubleshoot, maintain. Okay, so in desktop support engineering role, these are the things that basically, these are all the things that you do on a daily basis. Okay, hardware, software, everything else, okay, that is connected to the machine. Okay, like network and all these things. You also need to learn how to maintain and troubleshoot Microsoft Windows, which the Windows course is already covering. You also need to configure and troubleshoot network connections. Okay, manage users, the workstations, and also the shared resources like the SharePoint and all these things. Implement client virtualization, and as well as some cloud computing basic ones. Of course, you have to implement physical security, like how you keep your PC secure and things like that. You teach the user how to do that. So for 5 days, this one will be a face-to-face class. You will be a hands-on. You will have the opportunity to tear out a laptop or PC to its bones and put back them up again, so that you have confidence to take out all the components like hard disk, RAM, all these things. You know how to take out, disassemble them, okay, and assemble them back. So the next course will be the Network Plus. Okay, by attending CompTIA Network Plus, right, you learn all the skills that you need to operate as a network engineer. Okay, so anything that's regarding network is here. So what you need to do is you have to these are the bullet points. Like, for example, you have to identify the basic network concept, theory and concept, and the major network communications methods such as LAN, WAN, or Wi-Fi, 5G, what have you, right? Also identify the different major type of network implementation. Okay, identify the TCP/IP addressing. For network, right, you're dealing a lot on TCP/IP. And everything will be taught inside here. And you also learn how to do basic routing and switching. Okay. And as also at the same time, you learn a little bit on network security. Of course, there's a more there's a lot of different security costs, but what we are doing here is all talking about the network side. Okay, it could be a LAN network, it could be a cloud network. Okay, so we also have how you manage the network and also troubleshoot network issues. So these two is internationally recognized certification, and these two are aligned to the latest and the greatest CompTIA certifications. So if you're interested to take the exam after the course, you can actually buy your own exam voucher and attempt the exam. Then next will be like what I say, will be both the Apple and the Windows client. So what happens here is this 5 days course for the Mac OS course, right? This 5 days course will impart the necessary skills to the candidate, right, to support and manage Mac OS, iOS, iPad OS in an organization IT environment. Okay, it covers device deployment and management solution, and the most important thing is aligned to 2 official certifications from Apple. One is the Apple Certified IT Professionals. The other one is Apple Certified Support Professionals. Okay, the exam number is as such 9L0-3021 and also the 9L0-3019 exam. Okay, these 2 are the latest Apple exam in town. Okay, and LHub is the only company that have this course because we actually work with Apple to create this course for you. Then for Windows client, this is the MD100. This course will teach you how to install, customize, and update Windows 10. Of course, we have Windows 11 now. So if the Windows, okay, the new course, once it's available, the MD102, once the exam is confirmed, we will switch this course from MD100 to MD102. But at this moment, I will still talk about MD100 first. Windows 10 is still in use by a lot of companies, despite it being old, but it is one of the most reliable OS, okay, with the least problem. Okay, so we are move on. So you'll be going through a 3 days IT service management course. Like what I shared earlier, this one will be teaching you the standards, governance, and the best practices in IT. So you learn about the ITIL4 concept, the terminology, and the principle being applied for IT service management, the best practices, so-called. You embrace key concepts from Lean, Agile, and DevOps to provide an integrated and a collaborative and holistic approach to deliver business value for an organization. Okay, so this is much more like a theory course, but it's a good theory whereby as a best practices, you follow the way they teach you, right? So the way you apply your IT skills will be very aligned with what you've been taught here. Then this is the customer customer-centric innovation. This is a soft skill course. It's talking about creative thinking, and this one is very important that at the end of the course, right, the learners should be able to create and promote customer-centric innovations that enable business leader to be able to combine ideas and knowledge from many different domains and fuse to create an innovative approach to problem solving. Okay, you use your creative thinking to solve a problem. Okay, it's a creative thinking and problem solving course. Okay, so there's a lot of framework, all these soft skill framework that you will be applying, and from here you can actually apply to your day-to-day approach when you do your own things, your own job. Then the other course is support workplace improvements and innovations, and this one is talking about it's a problem solving course, and this course will use a FIRE framework to drive workplace improvement and innovations. Okay, so we create solutions through collaboration with stakeholders. So this course and the earlier course is actually work in conjunction so that you are prepared, you know, to answer all the to solve all the challenges that you have in your workplace. Okay. So for program requirement, right, for desktop support engineer, the prerequisite is, first of all, you must be a Singapore citizen, Singapore PR, or holders of long-term visit pass, long-term visit plus, okay, and you must be 21 years old and above, and you are committed to complete the program, okay. So the entry requirement is also talking about the minimum entry requirement is NITEC, okay, able to speak, listen, read, and write English at a proficiency level equivalent to employability skills, workforce skill qualifications, WPL level 6, able to manipulate numbers at proficiency level ES, WSQ, workplace numeracy level 6, okay, WPN level 6, well versed in office applications, okay, because you will need to use this to do your projects, right, and also to write your reports. You are also requested to join me in a 15-minute interview with my salespeople, with my skills consultant, or with myself. So how do you enroll in the class? First of all, you need to prepare a resume and your certificate. You need to submit both of them, and we will go through, the committee will go through the submission. Only shortlisted candidates will be notified for an interview, okay? Then the candidates will enroll in the ICTP program and which respective cohort. And of course, after you finish the course, you will have a career support from LearningHub, okay? So this one is a new schedule. You can check with my salespeople on the new schedule. And also, for each of the courses, right, participants will receive an electronic certificate of completion from LearningHub for each module, and upon meeting minimum 75% attendance and also achieve 100% competency for the assessment for each module. Why is it 100%? Because in WSQ wording, right, in the way that they phrase that course, is either you're competent or not competent, not yet competent. So we want everybody, and we hope everybody will get a C at the end of the day. C is meaning competent. That means you satisfy all the criteria. Okay? Not yet competent, then you have to retake. So the transcript, right? LearningHub will also provide a transcript, okay, reflecting the list of modules that they attended as part of the program, as well as whether they are competent or not yet competent or absent. So after you attend all the courses ready, there will be one final certificate of completion for the SCTP program, which is shown on the right side. Participants who completed the whole SCT program by meeting the minimum 75% attendance and also complete the capstone project and passing all assessment with 100% competency, then they will receive a full certificate of completion from LearningHub. Okay? If you have any question, please feel free to leave the question in the Q&A. Next, I will go into a more highly sought after role, which is SCTP Cloud Administrator. So, as a lot of people will be asking me, hey, why cloud computing? I thought it has been existing for the last few years already. Yes, it has been around for the last few years, and cloud computing has been maturing, and it has been one of the most exciting emerging technology. If you look at all the new capability that the market has, right, like AI, ML, IoT, all these are based on cloud. Okay, cloud is the best building block for all the corporate companies, and a lot of companies has already joined the cloud platform because of its high availability and high scalability capability of the cloud platform. Okay, so it's a rapid growing field. Okay, so the demand of the administrator for cloud is very high. So what is a cloud administrator? The cloud administrator is responsible for managing and maintaining cloud computing infrastructure and services particularly within a specific cloud platform like AWS, which is the #1 cloud platform, and Azure, the close second, that is from Microsoft. So the main responsibility of a cloud administrator includes okay, if you are a Netflix user or if you are subscribed to any online movie services, right? All these are most of it, 90% of it, they are all on AWS cloud. Okay, Netflix, for example, is an AWS cloud platform. So what happens here is Netflix uses AWS cloud to provide the services to you. So just as a cloud administrator, right, you are the one who actually do the subscription. Okay, understanding each of the services that is available in the cloud and subscribing according to the requirement of the company. Okay, if you have 100 users, then you subscribe 100 users, and within 100 users, who are the users are required to do certain tasks. They need to have certain new additional platform or tools, then we subscribe accordingly. Okay, so the provisioning and configuring cloud resources such as the virtual machine, storage, and networking, it works exactly like a Netflix platform. Okay, so it works like how you subscribe your Netflix, how you subscribe your cloud services, and for information, all your games that you are playing on your phone and all the applications that you're using now, they are all run based on cloud. So cloud is a very powerful platform that can do a lot of different things. Okay, so as a cloud administrator, you are also supposed to monitor the performance and availability of the cloud services and resources to ensure they meet the service level agreement. Okay, you also have to troubleshoot the issues arise from all the infrastructure, like certain software cannot match, why it cannot match, and that kind of thing, such as also sometimes the server fail, okay, or network connectivity issues. Okay, so ensuring the cloud security and compliance with the industrial standards, optimizing cloud resources to minimize costs, depending on how you subscribe, how you do your subscription, how you manage the services every month, right? The money spent on all these services can be managed by you. So indirectly, you are helping the company to save costs by managing it correctly and with the right resources, using the right resources. Okay, so as a cloud engineer, you also have to collaborate with other IT professionals to ensure the cloud infrastructure, right, meet the needs of the organization. Okay, whatever the organization need, the cloud are supposed to provide all the services in and things like that. So this is a very interesting role for cloud. Okay, so the salary range for a cloud administrator will range between 73,000 to 95,000. It's a highly paid job, around 4 plus to 5K for a start. It depends on your experience again. So this figure can varies depending on the size of the company. Of course, if you join a bigger company with like an MNC, usually the package is higher. But of course, some of the SME does offer very good packages. It depends on your experience also and your ability to learn and cope and shine. Okay. So additionally, right, the cloud administrator with more experience or with more years of experience and more specialized skills, right, you will earn more. So basically, in short, like what I said earlier in the desktop side, you need to constantly upgrade yourself, okay, in all the emerging skills, so that you can actually future-proof your career, right, by constantly upgrading. Okay, that's the only way to go. That's ICT, the fact about ICT industry. Okay, so this chart is just to show you the market leaders. So in this course, we are providing AWS and Azure. You can see that they already, both of them have more than half of the world market share in terms of cloud adoption. Okay, Google Cloud is coming out quickly, and Alibaba Cloud, we have IBM Cloud, we have Salesforce, we have a lot of different cloud. But the dominant one will be AWS, followed by Azure. Okay, So for 2020, right, the cloud infrastructure, during the COVID time, right, a lot of us work from home. A lot of services are actually from cloud. So like your teams, you also can work with cloud, as long as there's internet, you can work really. So with this innovation and with this new way of doing, like the cloud actually grew up the cloud infrastructure revenue actually shot up very high to 129 billion in just 1 year. Okay, so this is a very exciting area to be in now. Okay, and also NTUC LearningHub is also the advanced tier training partner in Singapore, representing AWS. We are also a Microsoft Learning partner. Okay, so whatever curriculum that you see, the course that you see, we are using the official curriculum. Okay, unlike the IHL, ours are all directly from the vendor. So you'll be learning all the latest and updated course from us. Okay, because our courseware are constantly updated by the vendors. Again, the demand for cloud is high. You can see, and you can also search for cloud engineer, because some of these roles, depending on what they do, like the skills are able to do quite a lot of different roles. So cloud administrator is just one of the common names that we use. It could be cloud engineer. Your skills are able you to join as a cloud engineer. Of course, you need to pick up one or two more skills, like programming skills, if you are talking about doing application on the software side. But cloud engineers, all the courses are quite similar. Okay. So for the SCTP program, right, you can see that it's a very, very long track. Okay, I show you here first. So we start off with CompTIA Network Plus. We skip the A+. We're assuming that you already have some basic IT experience before you join the Cloud Administrator SCTP, the track. So we start off with the CompTIA Network Plus, which is a network engineer equivalent course. So it will teach you everything about the network side. Then the CompTIA Linux Plus. Linux is actually an open source. Okay, so we are talking about server administration here. Server administration for Linux server. Okay, and the different thing about Linux server is you need to learn some command line and bash code, bash script, in order to operate inside this Linux server. So all these skills, your server administration skills, your command line, your basic scripting, will teach you in this course. Okay, it's a very interesting course, because Linux servers are primarily used for cloud adoption. Okay, then we'll teach you CompTIA Security Plus. This course will cover security for both LAN, WAN, and Wi-Fi. And we have, after that, after the 3 CompTIA official course finish already, we will proceed with AWS Cloud Practitioner Essential. Okay, this is the gateway to the vendor course. The difference is, all these are actually vendor course, but if you're talking about either AWS and Microsoft, right, they are the one that provide the technology. Okay, so this course itself is actually an official AWS Cloud Practitioner course. So it give you a very good overview of all what AWS has and all the different services it comes with. Okay, so it give you a very good overview. Before we go to architecting on AWS, we teach you the different components in detail, and allows you, by attending this course, right, once you are well versed with all the terminology and how it works, right, how the cloud works, you are able to craft out a solution based on the requirement from the stakeholder. Okay, it's like a Lego. You learn how to play the Lego, right? Then how to use the correct piece of support to build up a project according to what is required to run. Okay, the cloud operations on AWS is the cloud administrator course for AWS. Okay, it teach you about administration skills for the cloud itself, the AWS cloud itself. Then we'll go to Microsoft Azure Fundamental, like the AWS Cloud Practitioner Essential is also a 1-day theory course. It gives you an overview of the whole Azure platform, the cloud platform. Although they are both cloud platform, the way they work slightly differ from each other because based on the way they design the technology and the way they set up. Okay, so it's important to know both AWS and Azure. Then you follow with Microsoft Azure Administrator. It's the 4 days course, and then you go through a 2 soft skill course that I mentioned earlier. Then you follow by a 10 days capstone project. Okay, this is the school fee. The school fee for 21 years old and above Singaporean and PR will pay about 6,350.4 with GST. And for 40 years old and above, you'll pay around 2,430.4 with GST. And for more information, you can check with Ivan, who is online. So I've shared earlier, this is a network engineer course. We'll teach you everything about the network. Okay. Then we'll follow Linux Plus. We'll teach you the system configuration of a Linux server, the command line interface, which I mentioned earlier. We'll teach you the basic scripting basics, the network settings and the services that the Linux server can provide, and also the system security. So in ICT, right, it's very standard one. It's either install, configure, maintaining, and of course the security have to, or troubleshoot and security. So a lot of course is talking about the same thing, but on different parts of the technology. Computer Security Plus will teach you all the important lessons to how to secure your applications, okay, like your whatever apps that you're using, the network itself, the different kind of networks, and also the different kind of devices that you are using. And also you need to learn how to perform a threat analysis, okay, and respond with the right action, the right course of action, the procedure, okay. So also participate in the risk mitigation for the activities, okay. And also must know a little bit about all the applicable policy, the Singapore law and the regulation from IND. Okay. So this is the official AWS track courses that is available in the market right now. It was divided into 4 different levels. You look at it, you always start with fundamentals, then you go associate, then you go professionals, then you go specialty. Okay. So when you see 3 ticks, right, the 3 ticks for this course will prepare you the foundation level, okay, for the cloud practitioner. For the associate level, we align you with the AWS Certified Solution Architect Associate. This course will be the architecting on AWS. By attending that course, enable you to go and take this exam, which will provide you with the exam voucher for this course. Then also the cloud operation on AWS, right, will prepare you for the AWS Certified SysOps Administrator Associate. Okay, so if you want to, as you proceed with your career, sometime later part, you might be able to see yourself going to the developer side if you are interested in software development, or you can go to DevOps, which is the in-between infra and software, the in-between, the person that knows both worlds. Or if you want interested to become a solution architect, you can go for the professional level solution architect certification. On the right side, you will see big data, advanced networking, security, machine learning, Alexa. All these, right, it depending on whether you want to go into this area or not. Let's say, for example, if you're going to security, naturally, you will take the AWS Certified Security Specialty. If you are interested in AI/ML, which is the artificial intelligence or machine learning, you can actually go to AWS Certified Machine Learning course, okay? So it's called the the machine learning pipeline on AWS. That's the actual course title. Okay. So like what I shared with you earlier, so this is a one-day overview of the AWS platform. They teach you all the basic, all the information about this cloud platform, why people come to cloud and things like that. So upon completing this course, right, you'll be able to summarize the working definition of AWS, differentiate between the different kind of services like on-premise, what is on-premise, what is hybrid cloud, and what is all-in-one cloud. Because some of the companies actually still do have the hardware. The hardware is doing something else, where the cloud is also doing something else. So it depending, they want it to do a hybrid cloud. That means half in-house, half cloud, or all everything in cloud. Okay. Describe the basic global infrastructure of AWS cloud, how many points they have to support the operations. Explain the 6 benefits of AWS cloud. Okay. Describe and provide example of AWS cloud core services such as compute, network, database, and storage. Okay, storage can be also on cloud. Database can also be on cloud, which in fact most of them is on cloud now. Okay, identify an appropriate solution using the AWS cloud services for different scenarios. Okay, describe the AWS well-architected framework and so on. Okay, so there's a lot of information being covered here, but there's no hands-on. This one is the theory course. So you have to pay attention to have a very good appreciation why people go to cloud and why AWS stand out by itself because of all these different services that they're providing. Okay, with this information, you can actually go to the next course, Architecting on AWS, which is a 3 days architecting course. So in this course, right, you learn about all the different building stack that AWS have, okay, all the available services. So upon knowing all the available services, because you already get some information from the AWS CPE course already, right? So this is the next course. So this is actually a very popular course. A lot of the ICT folks have this certification, okay? So what they do is, in this course, right, you learn how to optimize the AWS cloud by understanding how AWS services fit into the cloud-based solution. Meaning to say, whatever it has, how do you fit in this solution into application to provide services for your own stakeholder, okay? So this course will also teach the participants on the best practices and the design pattern for architecting and optimizing the IT solution in AWS, okay? So there's a lot of hands-on. This course is a very hands-on course and it covers a lot of theory. So it's a very fun course, okay? It's a very fun course. You'll learn a lot on the architecting itself and how this stack is useful to do what and how do you configure them to provide a holistic solution for your stakeholder, okay? So this is very important. Important thing is like leverage all the different AWS services, right, to make your infrastructure very scalable. That means you can increase or decrease very quickly, very reliable and highly available. Okay, in cloud we are talking about high availability. That means it's always available and at a certain threshold. Okay. Next, this one is a cloud administration course, done by administrator. So this one will teach you on how to use the command line AWS command line interface. How do you manage, secure, and scale the compute instances on AWS and do different items. So there's a lot of things being covered here. This is server, but this is cloud administration, not server administration, cloud administration. Okay. How do you get best optimize your cloud solution? Then this is what I'm showing you now is the Microsoft Azure certification pathway. So unlike AWS has four levels, right? The foundational, the associate, the professional, and also the specialty. For Microsoft, they work in similar way except that they put the specialty into the associate level. So in short is Microsoft has 3 levels: fundamental, associate, and expert. So the 2 ticks are the ones that you are attending. The rest is depending on your job role, you attend accordingly. Okay, this course has been Microsoft certification has been around for many years. In fact, 20 to 30 years. If I remember correctly, it's about 20 over years really. Okay, the way they design the course has been simplified. So now they are very focused on all the job skills. Okay, what you are doing, you just attend according to the job skills that you are doing. So if you are talking about security, right, after you do your administration, The next thing you need to go is the Azure Security Engineer, AZ500, and so forth. So if you are interested to become a solution architect, then you go up to the expert level, which is Azure Solution Architect. But before you attend this course, you must attend the Azure Administration. So there's some linkage in terms of upgrading. So it's not a thing whereby you can just choose any course to attend. You must know how to attend and which sequence to attend. Okay. So like the AWS CP, this is also an overview. Okay, they will talk about all the SLA, the different kind of policy, the kind of services, same thing. Okay, just that it's in Microsoft favor. Then you have the administration course again. So this course itself will teach you how to administer the Microsoft Azure Cloud Platform. So again, the two soft skill courses, the creative thinking and the problem solving. And upon your completion, right, you'll get, like what I described earlier, you'll get the modular cert, you'll get a transcript, and also you'll get a final cert of completion if you finish. Yeah. So in this course itself, we are giving you 3 exam vouchers. AWS Cloud Solution Architect, CSOC Administrator Associate, and also the Microsoft Certified Azure Administrator. Okay, these are the prerequisites. Yeah, similar to the DSE. So same thing. Schedule you get from our sales, and this is the WhatsApp that you need to scan to talk to us and to inquire more. Yes, I hand over to my colleague Chu Qian. I finished my presentation. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, Gary. So of course, everybody, if you've got any questions, feel free to quickly type into the Q&A box right now, and we'll be very happy to take it on.
So in fact, there is one question that maybe I'm not sure if Gary can answer. So in the Q&A box, Michael is asking, is a cloud engineer role similar to DevOps engineer? So I think there are some similarities, but I think maybe Gary can explain.
Yeah. Hi, Michael. For cloud engineer role, right, it's quite similar to DevOps, but it's not exactly the DevOps portion, because cloud engineer does learn a little bit on programming, like the Python and all these things nowadays. DevOps itself is talking about the integration part really. So cloud engineer, you can just do whether it's on the infra side or on the software side, but the DevOps side is there to solve the DevOps, the integration problem between software and hardware. I hope I answer your questions.
All right, thank you very much. And of course, to everybody else, if you've got any questions, feel free to quickly type into the Q&A function box, so we would be happy to answer your queries. And meanwhile, a very big thank you to Chu Qian, Wilson, and Gary for your sharing as well.
Thank you.
Final call, any other questions? Well, just to share with you some of the questions that were asked earlier on, some of you were asking about how to see your balanced skill future credit. You can actually visit the Skills Future website. There's one portion where you can actually check after you have signed in via your SingPass. So this is also to check about your eligibility. And a number of you were all asking about fees, and I believe the respective staff in charge have already sent you the correct links. Okay, Qian Ru is asking, are there any AI courses available? Anybody who can pick this up?
Yeah, if you're looking for... Sorry, so if you're looking for short courses, we do have some AI short courses coming up in late September. So AI for business professionals, ChatGPT, and we also recently launched our Skills Future for Digital Workplace, SFDW course. So if you're interested, feel free to chat to us via the WhatsApp, and maybe our skills consultant, Ivan, can get back to you on that as well.
Any idea if these courses will be physical or would it be virtually?
It will be a combination of physical and virtual, and they will be funded up to 90%.
Great. Meanwhile, we have got another question from Dion. Are there any certifications that require us to fork out money ourselves, or are all of the fees covered?
So this depends on program to program. As much as possible, we try to bundle the official certification exam into the course fee because we also understand that it's important for your employability. But some of them are separate. So you can actually, these exact details are in our course page where the links are actually in the chat. But if not, you can actually chat with our skills consultants via the WhatsApp, and then they can advise you as well. So depending on the program you're looking at, then that would differ.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we have answered all of the questions already. So I understand that a lot of you are concerned about course fees. So like mentioned by Chu Qian, it'll differ from course to course, and it's also depending on your status, whether you're Singaporean, etc., and your age. So I believe you need to actually access the specific web pages to find out more. Otherwise, in just a bit, we will be showcasing to you a way to be contacted to us. Meanwhile, just a quick final call. Any other questions? Okay, we've got one from Mavis over here. What are the prerequisites for the fundamental courses? Do you actually need a basic IT diploma or any paper requirements?
Okay, so for those who have no experience, right, in ICT, so I think one of the first course that you should take is the Computer A+. You can take the Computer A+ because they can actually give you a very good overview of how the ICT environment work, and they give you overall of the whole ICT infrastructure, a very brief overview. They teach you how to do the basic stuff. So it's where you can actually get yourself the fundamental skills. Now, of course, depending on what skills that you are looking at, you're interested in. But for infra, we always start with Computer A+. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Gary. Okay, so one last one that just came in from Simin. How are the courses conducted? Lecture style, tutorial groups, the usual class size, online, offline, etc.
So it will be a mix of face-to-face and virtual. So for example, for some of the courses, like Computer A+ that Gary mentioned, they have to be physical, right? Because you're taking and breaking apart a computer. But they are all definitely live training, right? They are not videos recorded for you to review as and when. They are live training, and you have to be there with your camera on and participating. So primarily it's lecture style, right? So knowledge transfer from the trainer, and then as and when there'll be breakout rooms, if it's virtual, or group activities face to face for you to do some activities. Usual class size, we are looking at a maximum ratio of about 1 to 20.
Yeah, just to add on to what Chu Qian has said, right? I think the important thing is all courses we do in the SCTP are instructor-led training. So be it virtual or be it face-to-face, right, there will be some hands-on activity, especially for ICT course. Most 90% of the course will have hands-on activity, except for a few that is theory-based. Like what I share with you, the Cloud Practitioner Essential and Azure Fundamental, because these are just overview of the cloud platform. It does not have activity, but the rest of the course does have it. They either do it physically or digitally, or using the digital lab provided by the vendors. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chu Qian and Gary. And with that, we've come to the end of today's webinar. A very big thank you once again to Gary, Chu Qian, and Wilson for your sharing. And a very big thank you to all of you who are participating. You know, we can definitely sense your keen interest through all the questions asked. Nonetheless, even if, you know, the webinar ends and you suddenly have a question that pops out in your head, don't worry, okay? You can always scan this QR code on screen right now. It will lead you to WhatsApp. Specifically, it will lead you to our official WhatsApp number for NTUC LearningHub. So this number is actually 8488-5482. Once again, it is 8488-5482. So we'll very much encourage you to just save this number so that you can always be in contact with us to answer any of your queries pertaining to the courses that you are interested in. And of course, with that, everybody, we've come to the end and we would love to receive your feedback. So later on, once you exit the session, you will be shown a survey link. So we'll very much appreciate if you could just complete this short survey so that we can better curate future webinars with you in mind. Now, if you do want to go for more in-depth training, then please visit the NTUC LearningHub website to find out more about the different courses available. And you can always check us out on NTUC LearningHub Facebook or even Instagram, so you don't miss out on any of our future events and promotions. And with that, thank you very much for attending today. We hope you've enjoyed the talk and have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.